I've also sung at a few performances and had art and showcases. It's a lot of fun.
Wonderful. So Hazel, you performed at last year's spring showcase, and then you were also MC of the holiday showcase last December. I know we were hoping to bring you back to perform and to be co-MC of our spring showcase. Unfortunately, that wasn't able to happen. So that's why we're bringing you back here to perform virtually for us. Can you tell me a little bit about just what's your favorite thing about the Boys and Girls Club?
My favorite thing about Boys and Girls Club is learning about the different cultures that the Boys and Girls Club brings, and learning all the different cultures has made a big impact on how I look at the world.
Wow. And is there one thing most that you like? Is there one thing that Youth Arts Initiative has the most important impact that Youth Arts Initiative has made on your life?
I've been more creative and confident in all my all my art pieces. It's makes me more confident because it's like guided me through everything. So like I'm like, wow, I've had such great people teaching me this. It can't go wrong. And like even if I make a mistake, they're gonna be supportive of it and just help me like fix the mistake rather than like just watch me do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, very wise words coming from a very young girl. Hazel, what grade are you going into?
6th grade.
And you just had a birthday?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So how old are you now?
12.
12. Wonderful. And you're going to be at 6th grade at South Junior High?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, well, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Hazel is going to perform You Can Count on Me by Bruno Mars. Take it away.
Whoa, whoa. If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'd sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself stuck, lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Whoa. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. So you can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do. I am. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, yeah. If you're tossing and turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'd sing a song beside you. If you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Whoa. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. So you can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do. I am. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, yeah. You'll always have my shoulder when you cry. I'll never let go, never say goodbye. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do. I am. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Count on me, 'cause I can count on you.
Woo! Well done.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Well,
Thank
thank you so
That was
much.
great.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
And a cappella. Oh my goodness. I could never sing a cappella. You're just amazing. So,
Thank you.
so multi-talented. I mean, you do visual artwork, you sing, you MC. You're just amazing. We're so, so proud of just your tremendous work. You
Thank
should be
you.
proud of yourself, and your mom should be so proud too. Well, does anybody have any other questions of Hazel before we excuse her from this meeting?
Hazel, this is Leslie LeCure with the Central Minnesota Arts Board. I just want to say how impressed I am and how much I look forward to you as a future star. You're already a star, but you're going to be a leader. You are going to do great things, and I look forward to watching you grow. So thank you for your performance.
My mom says that, Leslie, you know my aunt, Leslie Hanlon.
Yes, very well. Leslie Hanlon served on our board for 9 years. She just concluded her last board meeting with us. So we love her and we will miss her. She is an amazing person, and you're very lucky to have her in your life. Thanks for mentioning that.
Would anybody else like?
Yeah, Hazel, this is Mary Swingle. I'm the president of the Boys and Girls Club here in Central Minnesota. And I just want to say, I can't wait until we get you as a Youth of the Year. And you can not only represent us, but you will go far. You are such a talented individual. And we need to get you on the national stage with not only your personal talents, your singing talents, and everything. So we are so honored to be able to partner with you through the years. Thank you.
If I can just jump on real quick. This is Heather. I'm joining you through the phone, and I hope it's okay because I'm driving my boys who are also club kids to meet their dad right now. So they were sort of sneakily also watching Hazel's performance, and so Jude and Milan from the East Side Club are very impressed, Hazel, and you reminded them how much they miss the club. Great job.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much once again, Hazel. We're just so excited to see what the future has in store for you. And I don't know, I think next time America's Got Talent has got some auditions in the cities or nearby, you need to be traveling over there.
I was thinking about this, possibly doing The Voice soon.
Wow, that's so exciting. Well, keep us posted.
Well, thank you.
Applause for Hazel before
Thank
she
you.
goes. Thanks, Hazel.
Bye.
Well, what we'd like to do next is introduce a video of everything that Boys and Girls Club has been doing throughout the COVID-19 school closures and going on into the summer, just to give you a really good idea, a good visual of the fact that we're doing whatever it takes, and all of these things, whatever it takes is really what it takes to also provide Youth Arts Initiative high quality arts programs. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And can everybody see the video on my screen?
Yep. Yes.
Wonderful. I'm going to press play. If you can't hear anything, just let me know.
Since 1974, Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Minnesota has always been about coming together. We've been here to support the families of our community and to do whatever it takes to give every kid a chance at a great future. Now we're facing an unprecedented challenge, and while we may not all be able to come together in the same way that we're used to, in many ways we are coming together like never before, because we mean what we say when we say Boys and Girls Club does whatever it takes to build great futures. When the coronavirus hit our home state and Governor Walz announced the statewide closure of schools, we partnered with our local school districts to launch Boys and Girls Club's Emergency Services Child Care Program. The next morning, we opened 3 sites to serve youth in grades K through 6 at Madison Elementary in the St. Cloud School District, at Mississippi Heights in the Sauk Rapids School District, and at Pine Meadow in the Sartell St. Stephen School District. Boys and Girls Club staff are working alongside school paraprofessionals to provide fun, engaging programs and distance learning curriculum to ensure academic success when kids can't be in the classroom with their teachers. Boys and Girls Club is doing whatever it takes to curb hunger for kids during the COVID-19 crisis. We are so thankful that our schools are meeting kids' needs when it comes to breakfast and lunch during the school week. But nearly 100% of kids served by Boys and Girls Club are food insecure, and the need for an afternoon snack and dinner is great. Therefore, club staff started a grab-and-go mobile meal distribution program for families at the South Side, Roosevelt, and East Side clubs on Mondays and Thursdays, providing supersized snacks and dinners 7 days a week. We are providing an estimated 4,500 meals per week during the school closure. Club professionals are doing whatever it takes to connect with youth during the pandemic. This means scheduling weekly Zoom meetings to play games like Would You Rather with their kids, making phone calls to check up on youth, and even building a virtual club filled with videos, activities, and challenges designed to keep kids busy and connected, even when they're at home. Yes, the world is a different place right now, but Boys and Girls Club is still coming together with great partners to meet the needs of the young people in our community. Because right now, whatever it takes means supporting our front lines by providing a safe place for their children, ensuring they continue to move forward in their education, getting the meals out to kids in need, and connecting with kids virtually. Boys and Girls Club does whatever it takes to bring hope to this community.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry. I jumped ahead a little bit with that video. I wanted to stop for just a minute and do some quick introductions. So, Deb, if you could just stop sharing your screen for just one more minute. Sorry,
Yeah,
because I jumped ahead earlier. So I just want to introduce, we have Carol and Mike Helgeson on the phone on Zoom with us right now, and they were instrumental in supporting our Youth Arts Initiative with the $150,000 matching challenge. And so we're just so happy to have you here with us. Mike and Carol, if you want to wave or if you want to say anything to introduce yourselves. And then we also have Heather Allen from Central Minnesota Arts Board, who is our program officer, and Leslie LeClaire, also from Central Minnesota Arts Board. And then we have Tracy Hartman, who was one of our evaluators with Research for Action for Youth Arts Initiative. So we're happy to have her here today to hear a little bit about what we're doing during COVID-19 to support high quality arts programs. And then of course, Mimi Bitson, who is a board member, an eternal supporter of the arts and the arts programs that Boys and Girls Club provides on just so many levels. Mimi, you've just been instrumental in helping us with sustainability of our arts programs. So thank you so much for that. We have Deb Nebesis, our Director of Development, on the line. And then of course, Mary Swingle, our President and CEO. So everybody say hello to each other.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
All right, and now without further ado, Deb's gonna take it away here.
Hey, great. Thanks, Aim. I'm so sorry if maybe nobody noticed, but I joined late. I live out in the country, so I had to reset my router so that I could ensure that I could join today. So sorry about that, but I was really glad I didn't miss Hazel singing. She's incredible, and I know I don't need to tell this group that. So we all pretty much probably know each other, and I know a number of you have been in the clubs. But Amy and I were talking to Mary, of course, as well, and we just wanted to connect with you guys and let you know that although everything looks really different at the Boys and Girls Club, there's so many incredibly powerful things going on at the club right now. Although it's different, and since you've all invested so much into Youth Arts Initiative and the Boys and Girls Club in general, we wanted to help you understand that, again, although things are different, there's still a lot of incredible things going on for our kids in the community. But we wanted to help you understand how COVID has really affected the Boys and Girls Club very significantly. So I'll be brief, but before COVID, and really for us, it really changed very significantly on March 16th when the schools stopped being schools essentially and went to online learning. All of our clubs closed, all of our Kids Stop sites closed at that point. So previous to March 16th, we were running in 18 different locations. We had our 3 clubs, Southside, Eastside, and Roosevelt. We had 14 Kids Stop sites in 3 school districts, 1 charter school, and then we had our extension club at Sauk Rapids Middle School. On the 16th, when those all stopped programming, we opened 3 care sites where we started doing emergency care for Tier 1 workers. We did 1 per school district, 1 at Pine Meadow, which is in the Sartell School District, 1 at Mississippi Heights in Sauk Rapids, and then 1 in the 742 St. Cloud School District, which was at Madison. So, so that changed, 18 down to 3. Before this started, we had about 6,300 registered members. At our care sites, we dropped down to about 450 members that we were serving about, anywhere between 150 and 175 kids per day. It was a critical service that the governor and our school districts asked the Boys and Girls Club to step up and offer. We were thrilled to be able to do that. And we give a lot of credit to Mary. Mary has been with the Boys and Girls Club just about 2 years, but we were all shocked, I think, that had happened and that the schools had closed. And Mary really didn't miss a beat. Mary and Jerry Bechtold, our director of programs, who immediately contacted school districts and let them know that, this is Boys and Girls Club work to provide these things, and we were ready. So that Monday morning, we opened those 3 sites, and we actually continued to run those all the way through this, actually about 2 weeks ago when we started our summer Kids Stop program. So the average daily attendance at the club between those 18 sites, every day we served just over 1,600 kids. So with COVID, we dropped down to, as I said, serving about 150 to 175 kids, down from 1,600. So what a significant difference. I know many of you know the meal program's always been a very critical part of the Boys and Girls Club. Many of our kids and families are food insecure. They were food insecure before this started, so you can even imagine how much worse it is for them at this point. So about 2 weeks after we opened the care sites, we started a grab-and-go meal distribution program where we pack, and you saw in the video that Amy did, which was incredible. We pack the meals at the Southside Club, and then we distribute them at all 3 of our locations. We're still doing that today. We're going to be doing it through the end of summer, even though some of our programs are going to be starting up soon. But we know that with some of the new guidelines, we're not going to be able to serve as many kids as we had been serving before, and all of our kids need food. The great thing that I love about that program is it allows us to serve meals to kids on Saturdays and Sundays, where previously we've been serving 5 days a week. We've talked for a long time about the need for a backpack program to help our kids on the weekends. Well, now we've got one. So we're serving 20,000 meals a month, which obviously is going to be a lot more meals than we were able to serve all of last year. This next one, we've always had, volunteers have always been a critical part of the Boys and Girls Club. They add so much. They bring down our ratios. They add different staff and or different personalities in for our kids to connect with. We've always been lucky to have the colleges in the community. 967 adult and youth volunteers. down to 0. So actually we have one office volunteer that helps with some things, but that's something that, now that we're kind of into COVID a little bit and kind of figuring out how we're going to be able to safely run programs, we're going to be adding our volunteers back in. They're such a valuable part of our programs. The next fact, I think, is probably the one that really gets a lot of us. We had about 250 staff employed at the Boys and Girls Club on March 13th. About 2 weeks later, at our lowest point, we went down to 32 staff, if you can believe that. So we weren't running the programs, and so we had to furlough our staff, move them on to unemployment, which was really helpful to them, so they were still getting paid, keep them on our benefits, do as much as we could. But to go from 250 in 2 weeks down to 32, I think most of us thought that could never happen. So I am very happy, and Mary's going to talk about this in a minute. We're building our programs back up again, and about a week ago, we were up to 184 staff. So we are coming back from where we were at. And I think Mary now is going to talk about the future for the Boys and Girls Club.
Absolutely. Thank you, Deb. Yes, the last couple of months are something that none of us could have ever imagined. However, we are very excited that we were able to continue offering our programs. One of the key programs would, of course, be our Youth Arts Initiative. So even when we went down to only the 3 care sites, the COVID sites that we were running, the Youth Arts Initiative has always been and always will be a core element of our Boys and Girls Club. The research, it just shows that it makes such a positive impact on our youth that that'll always and will always be a core of our program. So as we were starting to figure out how we're going to operate in COVID, one of the things we decided right away is going with the virtual programming. Fortunately, we are blessed to have Amy, who has tremendous technology skills. I do have a background of running online schools, 7-12 and higher education. So we were able to tap into a couple of different resources internally that we could really utilize. And the area we started was with our Youth Arts Initiative team. So we took with our virtual programming, we were able to tap into our youth artists and start creating virtual programming for all of our youth, regardless if they were in the emergency care sites or if they were home, by utilizing and tapping into our artists and our artist mentors. This was huge because it provided a sense of stability, a sense of they were connecting, even if it's over a video, with the artist mentors that they worked with before, to bring some sense of peace to our youth. And so that was a really huge piece of what we have been doing and what we are continuing to do. When necessary, getting supplies and resources to the youth so they could participate in arts there. We even have a visual or a graphic or like a clothing design. I'm drawing a blank on the terms here, Amy. Fashion design, thank you. A fashion design program, and we were able to deploy that program into creating and making masks for our staff and for everybody. So really, we took all of our Youth Arts Initiative programming, and that became the core of our programming post-COVID. So again, it's crazy how impactful the work that you have done over the last several years is really what has been and is the core of getting us through COVID and moving forward. We did open up on June 1st, started opening up our Kids Stop sites again. So we are currently back up to 11 Kids Site programs. We are excited that in another week or so, we will be opening up the Southside Club. And the following week, so by July 6th, we will have all 3 of our clubs open. Of course, it looks significantly different because of the new regulations that are required. Everybody wears masks. Our youth and our staff wear masks. The social distancing, the sanitizing, the cleaning, the health checks, it's just a different way we live in. However, that doesn't change our ability to really impact the youth if we are using creative resources. So for example, one of the things that we're doing in all of these programs is now zooming in and being able to provide taking our youth art mentors so they can provide youth art mentoring with our staff and with our students' lives. So the students have to stay within the same groups, and they're not allowed to move from room to room to room. Like before, they would go to the art room, or they would go to the dance studio, or they would go to the gym or outside. Now they have to pretty much stay in the same confined area, and those are regulations to the state and the CDC that we work with. So what we've been doing is we can take our art mentors and they can zoom into those rooms so they can still be providing that high quality instruction. And this is so key for our youth, because now they are still able to participate in those arts. They're still able to participate in the dance. They're able to participate in all of those activities that are so impactful with the artists and the art mentors. It's just the artist is providing that instruction via Zoom. So we didn't lose a beat with that. So that has been really exciting.
So Mary, I would really like to go into our launch of the virtual club, if that's okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen since Mary was talking a little bit about how we launched a virtual club. If you go onto our website, you can just click on the virtual club right here. Can you see my screen now? Virtual club programming, fantastic. So as Mary said, you know, right away when schools closed and we opened up our emergency services care sites, we started actually with our fashion design program, sewing the masks. So our staff were teaching the kids how to sew masks. And Brady, who is one of our staff, just informed me today that our kids have sewn at least 250 face masks between the school closure and today. I think that's just highly impressive. So we were able to empower our kids to make a difference during COVID using the arts. And then shortly after that, April 10th, we launched our virtual club. So as you can see here right now, kids have the opportunity, if we can't see them face to face, at least we can still provide quality programs where they can see their youth mentors on a regular basis, if not live, at least recorded. And they can still continue to develop in the arts. So what we have overall, we have at least, I think, close to 50 activities, if you see here, that kids can scroll down and take advantage of different activities across the club. It's just amazing what our staff have done in recording different instructional activities. And so we've had the opportunity to even provide a filtering process. So kids who want to participate in our arts activities can click on here. We didn't call it Youth Arts Initiative because we didn't think that would be as cool necessarily a term for kids, or maybe not all kids who, you know, conceivably kids who are out of state even could access our programs and they might not know what the Arts Initiative is all about. So we called it our Awesome Art Activities. And kids can go on here and there are so many different drawing opportunities. So if you click on this opportunity, you can look at a YouTube video from our artist, Allison Enselman, and she's teaching the kids step by step how to draw faces, which is just really incredible. And then what is really neat is that our Kids Stop sites during the summer now are going on to the virtual club and they're integrating that into their in-person programming. So even though our artists can't be in the classroom with our kids due to preventing cross-contamination, she can be there with them through these videos. So our youth development staff who are working face-to-face with the kids can turn on this video, make sure that the kids have the supplies in hand, and work through these instructions step by step. You know, start and stop the videos, and they can learn this process even though it might not be a strong point of the youth development staff. They have this aficionado of the arts in the classroom with them. And then kids who are participating in these activities have the opportunity to share on social media, or their parents can share on social media, or even comment as part of this activity. So this is just one of many options. We have, let's see here, under our Awesome Art Activities, you'll see loading, so many different visual arts activities. Our dance artist, Natalie, has videos like how to do a pirouette, how to do the 6-step, different handstands, because Natalie's really into tumbling too. How to do a safe handstand, I'm sure. We have, let's see here, also tap dancing with Natalie, and doing the get up dance. We had a session with Ragamala Indian Dance Company earlier this spring before the school closure, where they taught kids how to do a traditional Indian dance that was supposed to be performed at the spring showcase in May. Well, now the kids can continue to practice that dance from home using the virtual club, because we were able to record that session. So,
Amy, can I jump in for a second?
Yes, please.
One of the things, if you scroll down, one of the things that I think is really neat about some of the programs that they are providing, just a little bit further on this next row, you can see in there, right step, one of the things that our artist mentors are doing that is so cool is they're recycling and finding resources that the youth would have in their home. So not every youth has like a sketch pad or different media that they would be able to use. And so they're finding just different things that you would have at home. So the inside of a little box, and they're learning to draw various types of suns, and how they're turning like even a toilet tissue roll into art and into different, resources. So one of the things that I often will go on and watch the videos too, because I find them, sometimes, you want to doodle yourself. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'm doing that while I'm in meetings. And they're wonderful videos. Anybody can access them, but they're also tapping into the resources that our youth will have at home. So the youth don't necessarily have to have these elaborate sketching books. They can find just any resource that they have at home, the inside of a cereal box, or like I said, there's two you can see right on your screen right now, but just something that we may not necessarily think about, but our mentors are so in tune with our youth and their families that they really made it so anybody can do this. And they do the art, and a lot of it they do with just a pencil. So you don't even have to have fancy artwork. And it's so neat how Allison like with the sun, the drawing or the video on the sun, she's bringing out artwork and how you can create these beautiful images through just simply using a pencil, and allowing, you may not have all of the resources, but you can still engage in it. And I just wanted to call attention to that, because I thought that was just so wonderful, and not something that we specifically asked them to do, but it's something that they just know with our families. It was so impactful. So continue on. Sorry, Amy.
Oh, no, actually, you beat me to it, Mary. I really want, oh no, that's awesome. We really wanted to also do a shout out to Allison, because not only did she make sure that, she was using materials that kids just had around their homes, but she took it to the next level, and she did phone surveys with our kids, and she asked them what art supplies they have at home, so that when she's doing these video classes, she knows what they have, and she can play to that. And then she took it even further by bagging up supply kits for our kids, and she distributed them along with the grab and go meal programs that take place every Monday and Thursday, so that she could make sure that kids who didn't have the supplies that they needed could have the supplies and be able to participate in these arts programs. So what I also want to say about the virtual club is that we're proud to say that we've had 646 unique page views from the launch of the virtual club to today. So that's just very impressive. We're really working to make sure that our kids are participating on the virtual club through the Zoom meetings that we've had throughout the school closures, that we're sharing it out on social media, that we're making sure that kids know about the virtual club in any way possible and can have easy access to the virtual club. So Allison, as the visual artist at the Southside Club, actually started virtual art classes at the end of May. She started with the phone surveys, made sure that she got supplies into kids' hands, and she is meeting with kids every Wednesday at 11 o'clock. She's meeting with about 8 different kids, and on Zoom, they're doing just different skill development activities in the area of Youth Arts Initiative, and really just making sure that their social emotional needs are met during these Zoom classes, and then learning on their different styles of artistic expression, and really focusing on their emotional well-being through the arts process. So one of the first activities she did with kids started May 15th, or actually May 14th, that Thursday. She sent out some packages with kids of these little cardboard things, little cardboard rectangles with holes in them. And she asked them to decorate these cardboard rectangles with whatever they wanted to decorate, showing how they feel, writing about something that makes them happy and something that's sad on the other side. And then the plan is that she's going to string up she's going to get the kids to return their finished art projects. And then she's going to string them all up and create a banner that's going to be posted in the Southside Club for when the kids return on June 29th. And then she's also going to post that on the virtual club. So she's doing some really exciting things. And then, as Mary said, in-person programming, clubs will reopen at the Southside Club on June 29th, and then at the Eastside and Roosevelt Club on July 6th. So things are going to look really different. I'm going to stop my share now because we're done with virtual club. Things are going to look really different because we can only have 9 kids and a staff in each program area. So, and those kids need to travel together throughout the day to prevent cross-contamination across our sites. So it's going to be different, but our staff have really done a good job of designing the program. And so in order to maximize the number of youth that Allison can serve in her program specifically, she's going to be rotating on and off. Every other week, she's going to have a different group of kids. So she's going to have 2 different groups of kids actually that cycle back and forth. So one week she'll have a group of kids, and then a youth development staff will have the other group of kids in a different space. And then the next week they'll flip back over so that they have the opportunity to participate in Youth Arts Initiative programs, because she had so many kids who wanted to participate, but she can only serve, a given number of kids at a certain time. So we're really excited that she's going to be able to do that. And how it's going to look is a little bit different too. So, since we have the kids for 6 hours in a space, doing art for 6 hours doesn't necessarily work. So what they're going to do is they're going to have some downtime. They're going to have the equivalent of about 2 hours of arts programming, and then they're going to have some outside time. So they're really working on making sure that it's engaging, high quality arts programming in not only Allison's visual arts program, but also fashion design over at the Eastside Club. There's a core group of kids who are going to be in that studio the entire time. And then over in dance, Natalie's going to have a core group of dancers as well, starting up all of these programs. So I'm just really proud of our staff for working together to make sure that we can provide these quality programs in a way that is safe in this new age, but then is reaching the most kids in a meaningful way possible. And then, as Mary said, we're going to be utilizing Zoom for artists to be able to teach kids that they can't see in person. So, for example, Angel over at our Roosevelt Club, she's going to be starting Zoom classes both in the arts and in STEM on a weekly basis, so that all of our Kids Stop sites have opportunities to experience high quality arts and science and technology and engineering and math virtually. And that way we can reach, potentially 30 kids in one classroom. So I've been talking at you quite a lot about all of the different things that are taking place in our clubs for Youth Arts Initiative. And I see we're already over time, but I want to open it up right now to your thoughts and you know, any questions that you might have about how we're running program right now.
So I have a question. So if the students that were involved in the arts program before, once you come back now with your limited space and so on, how many kids will you still be able to service? You know, are there still going to be a lot of kids that aren't going to have access? You know, are they the ones that do the Zoom?
So a couple of things, correct. We won't be able to, you know, with the clubs not being able to serve, you know, like at Southside, we normally could serve well over 200 kids a night there. We're now at one time, it will be about 80 kids that we can serve in the Southside Club. So, and they also have to be pre-registered. So we're working with the parents, so the parents will sign up or let us know when their kids are going to come. What we are doing is staging, so we will have different kids of different ages at different times. So younger kids will come at one period of time, then they will leave, we'll sanitize and clean the entire club, and then we'll allow a new group of kids so we can bring in 2 groups of, say, 80 kids at a time. So we're working on that. We're also in close communication with the superintendents to figure out what the fall is going to look like, because when they go back to school, if it's looking like it'll be a hybrid type school environment when they are not in the classroom, we may look completely different. Where before we were in an after school program, we may be an all day and evening program going forward to be able to accommodate those youth. We have also begun, Deb and I have begun having conversations with different organizations trying to find if the city or businesses have building or spaces that they aren't utilizing, that if they would consider allowing us to use space for free. Of course, financials are a huge piece because, you know, just financially we've been impacted in a significant way as well. And then with the additional expense of everything with the new operation, we have to be very mindful of the financial aspect of it, but trying to find additional spaces where we can pull youth or use different spaces outside of just the club space to be able to accommodate and meet the youth as well. You know, there are just a lot of different things up in the air right now. One of the things that I am very, very proud of our organization and our community is that the Boys and Girls Club in Central Minnesota has such a strong relationship with people such as you that we have, and our school districts, we've been able to, you know, reach out. We put a request out and people are starting to say, hey, how about this spot or that spot? So we're hoping, Mike, to be able to accommodate more youth, but it may mean that we are going to have to secure additional locations to be able to do that. And of course, with that comes all kinds of additional expenses as well. We're just, it's a constant battle. So we throw that out, and when people have ideas or thoughts, we ask them to let us know, but we're trying to find a way to serve the most youth that we possibly can, because the demand has increased for what we do. So that's a really valid question, and I'm sorry I don't have a better, stronger answer for you right now.
And again, that's where the instructional videos that our staff have been putting together over the last few months is really coming in handy, so that we can, you know, it may not be live programming, but we're still reaching as many kids as possible through those videos, and then also the Zoom classes that will be recorded and then also added onto our virtual club. Any other questions?
Amy, I just want to thank you so much for inviting me. You know, it's been, we were able to have the privilege of following the Youth Arts Initiative for 3 years. And when we finished the research, one of the questions was, well, what will happen, you know, as the Wallace funding goes away? And so it's just so exciting to see that it's continued. And then the question of, well, what will happen to the Youth Arts Initiative with the pandemic? And you've continued going strong with it. And so it's really, really exciting to hear that. And it's just, you know, I know the Youth Arts Initiative is just a small piece of all that you are doing, and just the way the Boys and Girls Club in Central Minnesota and elsewhere has responded is just very, you know, impressive and important. So just, you know, thanks for inviting me. It's great to hear about all the good work that you are doing. So keep in
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tracy. We really appreciate all of your support over the years, because, you know, we couldn't have done it without you and the Wallace Foundation and Boys and Girls Clubs of America, and providing encouragement and feedback and resources for us all throughout the way. And I just want to say I was having a conversation with some of the artists over at Green Bay in the last couple of weeks, because they've been doing a lot of recorded videos as well. And so our plan is to share some of their videos on our virtual club and sharing some of our videos with them as well. So it's, again, another way that we can provide high quality arts programming and utilize these resources that that other clubs are using as well.
Amy, I want to say that I just met with Tanya and Katie from St. Ben's Fine Arts Series, St. Ben, St. John's. They are also looking at like a phase 1, 2, and 3 for their season next year. Phase 1 would be a lot of virtual programming. So I think it would be really wise to connect with them and see if we can, if there's some planning that we could do to have their artists featured, if not in person, then virtually with our kids. I wondered also about Great Theater. This would be just a great time. I think people are looking forward now. You know, we know that we're living with a new normal, so there is planning that's happening.
Yes, and actually Jerry Bechtold has been in conversation with Great Theater about some virtual programming that could take place in our kids' subsites and clubs this summer. And I've been in contact with Leslie Hanlon over at College of St. Benedict, St. John's University, and she was asking about the possibility of doing some virtual programming with our kids this fall. So it's just wonderful to hear that exposure to professional artists and performers will not end due to this COVID, that everybody's looking at creative ways of providing that exposure and, you know, giving artists an opportunity to continue to perform and continue to develop their craft is so important.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all so much. I think that Deb, Mary, and I, just from the bottom of our hearts, we just really appreciate all of your support in so many ways, in making sure that Youth Arts Initiative has been sustainable throughout this time, and that it will continue to be sustainable, and that we can continue to provide these high quality opportunities for our young people who so desperately need them now more than ever. So again, we just want to say thank you. We'll continue to provide updates as they come about. You know, whenever you have time, take a look at our website and check out the virtual club, and you can see all the new videos that are being added on a weekly basis. And you know, we're going to continue to develop our virtual programming as we go forward, because we know that that is the direction that things are heading for the near future. So with that, Mary and Deb, you have anything else you'd like to add?
Thank you so much. And, you know, of course, if you have ideas or anything, let us know. And the website is open to anybody. So if you have family or friends or neighbors that you think would benefit or enjoy participating in any of the little videos or activities that are out there, please share. So,
yeah.
Thank you for the update.
Yeah, congratulations on working through these challenges.
Thank you so much.
Creativity and energy to make things, you know, to make the best of it. Yeah.
Every day is a new adventure.
Journey. It's a journey, Tracy, an art journey. Well, and Carol and Mike, good luck and congratulations on that new grandbaby that's going to be born any day now.
Yeah, thank you.
Look forward to hearing about that.
Okay.
All right. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Have a great day and a great summer.
Bye.
Bye.